Hey, what is up, studs? Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars 75239 Action Battle Hoth Generator Attack. This is part of a new line by LEGO with Star Wars to kind of bring in some new functionality to these LEGO Star Wars sets. It's a unique take on some different scenes from throughout the history of Star Wars, and hopefully we'll see more sets like this in the future. But for now, we obviously had the Endor one, which I've already taken a look at on the channel, and we have this Hoth one, along with a basically larger version of this, or more scenery from Hoth, which will go nicely with this. This particular set includes 235 pieces, 2 minifigures being a Rebel Trooper and a Snow Trooper, and then it's going to cost $30 in the US, which is pretty pricey for the price per piece, but I think some of that price comes with the cost of these large spring-loaded shooters, which I will admit are really cool, and you guys won't dislike. I really love the power, and they really do pack a punch. Now, that being said, the box art is pretty clean, as you would expect. Of course, you have the gradient there on the side with the Hoth shield generator. The back side of the box is going to show off a bunch of the features of the set, including how the Snow Trooper and the Rebel Trooper can be knocked back from their respective stands, and then it also kind of shows you the rest of what you get included in the set there. So it's a pretty simple back box art, nothing fancy going on. So let's go ahead and take a look at the instructions real quick. As you would expect, you get a very typical LEGO instruction manual. The only fun part about it is what you find in the back. I just like showing these off because I think you guys might like them. There's the parts, but more importantly, the advertisements here for the 20th anniversary sets, and then the rest of the action battle sets. This is the other Hoth set that I was talking about. So you basically get these two together and you can really have a great time for $90 total there. Again, you also have the Endor one, which I've already taken a look at on the channel. I'll be taking a look at the other one soon. Let's get these minifigures in. The minifigures are pretty standard in this set. This is just a standard run-of-the-mill Snow Trooper. Nothing particularly new or exciting about it as far as I'm concerned. It's really just another one you can add to your collection if you already have a few, or if it's your first Snow Trooper somehow, here you go. It's obviously one of the best Snow Troopers LEGO's made, as it is one of the newer versions, in my opinion. I really like what they've done here. There is no backpack to him, so in case you were expecting some type of backpack, he is void of any backpack. But the one complaint I have is they are still using the same old angry clone face. Could LEGO kind of, change it up a little bit, give some variations to the angry clone face, just like different faces a little bit? They don't even have to be that much different, just a little bit different, and I would be a little bit happier. That's the one thing with these clone trooper type figures that's getting kind of repetitive. Just different facial expressions would be nice. Much like the Stormtrooper, the Rebel Trooper is very run-of-the-mill once again. You get some regular dark tan legs, you have a very nice torso print, and then of course his face with the brown beard is nice as well. He doesn't have a double-sided face, so you're not going to get any second facial expression, which is a little bit disappointing for a set that you paid $30 for and only has 2 minifigures and 235 pieces, but hey, that's neither here nor there. The other thing on this figure which is nice is the little helmet or hat that he has with the goggles, which you can move from the top and put them down below, and it's usually a little bit easier to get them off than that. But the one thing I would say is that I've never loved the way this looks. They just look way too big and bulky. They cover pretty much the whole face, and yeah, the goggles are not a great look on the LEGO minifigure. I just wish they were a little bit shorter, not as low on the face, because it really just covers the entire face, and that's really not the way it's supposed to look, I think. So that's what the Trooper looks like. If you're interested in this is a great set to pick him up in. But let's move on to the actual set. So here is pretty much everything included in the set. You've got the extra spring-loaded missiles here, which if you guys haven't seen these before, I'm sure you have. They're very nicely constructed. They use these rubber tips here, which do have some give to them, but are still pretty tough, so when they hit something, it's going to be a solid hit. But yeah, they're very nice. You also have the nice plastic bit here, which is what you're going to run into the mechanism there, which we'll take a look at in a moment. So you get 4 of those total in the set, maybe just in case you lose 1 or 2 over the course of time, you're going to be okay. So you have these shooters here, which I just mentioned. That's where you put the spring-loaded thing into, or you put the missile into, rather. So it just goes in, you'll hear it click. Pretty straightforward, and then it is in place and ready to shoot. The way you shoot it is you have the cone on top, and you basically just tap it or pull back on it. We're just going to tap it real quick. I'll give you guys a better example of it shooting at one of the targets here in a moment, but it's a pretty straightforward use. They also added these cones on either side here with both models here. You have the good guys one, which is white and blue, and then the bad guys with gray and red there. And basically those allow these to balance out and not fall over, which is nice. It also gives them a slight angle upward, which is also very useful for trying to shoot at things so that it's not pointing straight on, which, because gravity will hit the ground faster than with this slight upward angle. They also kind of look like airplanes. Now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. I'm sorry. But that being said, the way to use these is pretty straightforward. So first off, we have the shield generator thing here, and I'll get into that in a moment, but I just want to show you how to use these target shooter things. So if you want to use it, all you have to do again is just pull back or push on the cone there, and it will hit it and make it explode. Didn't work as well as I expected, but we'll give it another shot here in a moment after I show you more details on the shield generator and tell you more about how it works. So it has this printed tile on the front here, which is the Rebellion insignia, which I like. They did print these, and they're actually like oriented correctly, so if you put the brick on correctly, it won't be off center, which is very nice, or like pointing in the wrong direction. Like, very important that it is oriented correctly on the piece, and LEGO did a good job of that. We basically have a snowbank built up around the generator, and then some of the generator there on the side, and more kind of snowy and rock things on the back. You also have a clip here, which holds your Rebel Trooper's weapon, and you also might have seen the turret fall off because it's very loosely held on to those tiles with this basically bump that just keeps it from really just sliding off. It really just helps to keep it in place, and that's about it. So it is supposed to fall right off when you do shoot it with the bad guy's missile there, or you could shoot it with the good guy's missile, you know, friendly fire there. You just place the Rebel Trooper onto the studs there, and this does rotate, which is nice, but again, it's very loose on there, so it will fall off if you're not careful. Pretty straightforward design. The actual, like, area of this though, or inside of this, is actually like flames, so basically it's like it has blown up, which is very unique and creative by LEGO. I feel like it's a very small detail that really didn't even need to be there, but they were able to stick it in there anyway, and that's one of those things that I like seeing on LEGO sets. They did get this correct. There are 4 shield generators, unlike in the UCS version where they only put 3 in there, so this is actually movie accurate, more movie accurate than a UCS Ultimate Collector Series set, which, you know, makes me a little bit angry. Come on, LEGO, why, man? Why did you do that? Why? I still don't know why. It was never explained. They never owned up to that one as far as I'm aware, but we'll stick this back on. We're going to give it another shot here now that it's fully loaded. This should, in theory, knock into this, thus knocking over the trooper on his stand there. So we're going to set this back a little bit farther. Going to line this up, and we're going to take our shot to hopefully take down the Rebellion. And oh my god, dude, that thing just flipped up, or it slid right up. It hit that, right? And then it went up into here, hit the banana, man. And there it is. How did that even happen? That was nuts. All right, we're gonna shoot it again. So I probably tested that 5 or 6 times right there, and I was not able to once get this to shoot over and knock the whole thing over and fall over like you would think it's supposed to. So that's just not a great look here as far as the functionality of this section goes. So just a buyer beware on that part. It doesn't seem to work as intended, which is a little bit of a shame. I did try it from different distances and angles there in the slow-mo, recap that I just did, and it just didn't seem to want to work. So I don't know really what the deal is there. Maybe something is slightly off with the build, but it looks like that's pretty centered like it's supposed to be. It should just run right into it, but it looks like for whatever reason it wants to push this one more than this one. But in theory, that's what should happen. It just doesn't seem to be happening. So just to beware on that. It might not work as you might expect it to work. So again, just a heads up. Now we also have this little turret here, a little Hoth turret for the snowtrooper. It does have a little area for the snowtrooper to go on. It's just a grill piece, so he just lightly sits on there. He obviously is not going to be stuck on there. He's going to be flying off when we eventually shoot this with our good guy blaster here. But it does have another sticker, or not a sticker on there, another print there with the Imperial insignia in red, which color matches the target, which is nice. You can see the mechanism there. There's actually a little Technic piece that runs back. So basically you hit this, it basically pushes the Technic piece back, which is going to flip this thing here and make your Stormtrooper, or Snowtrooper rather, fly right off. Like the Rebel part of this, it also has a little clip for your weapon for your Snowtrooper, which is nice to see. But let's go ahead and test it out in slow motion. So that worked way better than the Rebel part of it did. I'm actually very pleased with the way that worked. So the Snowtrooper was blown back, and obviously no real damage to him or any of the set in general. You really just put him back on. You don't really have to put anything else back in place. It all just kind of it'll go back, or maybe you do have to manually put it back if it does stay back. But usually it's hit back hard enough that it will swing back into place, which is nice. So you just saw that mechanism works as intended. The other one just doesn't seem to want to work, so maybe you guys will have a different experience with that. But so far I have not had the best experience with that one. But I'd like to hear what you have to say about this set in the comments section down below, so please do let me know. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I love how accurate they were able to make the shield generator, especially compared to the UCS one. The targets are nice, of course. You have a very nice turret there. The minifigures are very clean with the Snow Trooper and the Hoth Rebel Trooper there. The turret could use some work. It's pretty bland. Of course, the mechanism for this didn't work as I was expecting, but maybe that's just kind of a problem that I'm having, and you're not going to see that widespread. I would assume it usually works like normal. I don't know. For whatever reason, I can't get it to blow them both out of the water there. So just having no luck on that one. Of course, the spring-loaded shooters are awesome on this particular set. They're just very strong and powerful, and they're actually just fun to use to kind of shoot around with your friends, I think, instead of just using them in this set. I'm excited to see what LEGO does with the action battle attack sets in the future, because I think this is a very unique concept, and I really do want to see more. This is going to go well with the other Hoth set, which I'll be taking a look at on my channel soon. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video, and turn on notifications if you haven't already. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.